Hello and welcome. This is Andy Robinson, continuing our 12-part series on thriving in uncertain times. If you have not watched the previous two videos, I invite you to check those out on the Resilient Southwest Florida website. And then we've got another 9 videos coming up after today on this topic of having ways to help you thrive in these uncertain times that we find ourselves in. We live in a world that is an acronym now that's called VUCA. We live in a world of extreme volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. All of those conspiring together to create a world that is different than what we've been used to. VUCA was actually here pre-pandemic. The pandemic was definitely an extreme example that created additional volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. But that set of elements will continue to be a part of the world that we live in. Whether it's additional or future epidemics and pandemics, whether it's natural disasters, hurricanes, fires, floods, market disruption, new technology, new innovation that forces us to change, that forces us to pivot, that forces us to try new ways of doing things, or global competition, or government policy changes. All of those together, and all of those can happen concurrently, create this crazy, wild VUCA world that we live in, which is why I want to offer some strategies and tactics in the form of 6 personal commitments that you can make to not just survive in these uncertain times, but thrive in these uncertain times. And then some habits that you can undertake, that you can bring into your life that will fuel those 6 personal commitments. So 6 personal commitments and 6 habits. I've presented 2 of the personal commitments so far. Those personal commitments are new ways of thinking and better ways of being. The person that we are, the leader that we are, the family member that we are. They are ways that we can thrive in this VUCA world that we live in. So far, I've released a video on commitment number 1, which is looking for and talking about the good. That's truly training your mind to see the good in everything. In that video, I offered some strategies and tactics for bringing that into your life, for training your mind in a different way to look for those good things. In commitment number 2, I talked about being intentional about what you consume, about what you watch, about what you read, about what you do, about who you hang around with. Again, I invite you to check out the tactics and strategies that I offered in that video about how you can be more intentional about what you consume. Today, I want to talk about commitment number 3. Personal commitment number 3 is connecting with others meaningfully. I love this Brené Brown quote, and if you're not familiar with Brené, I encourage you to check her out on YouTube. She's got some wildly popular TED Talks. Her newest book, Dare to Lead, is one that I highly recommend. But she says this as it relates to connecting with others meaningfully. We are hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And without it, there is no question that there is suffering. So what I want to offer you today is some things that you can do, some things that you can try, some ways that you can be to connect with others in a more meaningful manner as we continue this journey together in this uncertain VUCA world that we're living in. These strategies and tactics relate to both your work connections as well as your personal connections. One strategy, one tactic, one thing that you can do that will help you connect meaningfully with others is to share your struggles and your difficulties with others, to talk about them, to talk about them with your family, with your spouse, with a good friend, with a work colleague that you could trust. Let them hear you out. You'll feel better by getting it out, by releasing it and talking about it, not necessarily looking for advice from that friend or colleague or family member, but sharing it, getting it on the table. You could also ask for help. You could ask for support as it relates to those struggles and difficulties. Ask for things that they've tried. Ask for things that they have seen others do. Bring their experience to you as you're dealing with those things, because we tend to withdraw into our shell when we're having a hard time. I'm suggesting that you open up that shell and share those difficulties and seek advice. And then the flip side of that is offering advice to others, hearing them out, adding value to them as a person, letting them know that you care, leaning in with active, compassionate listening. Sometimes people just want to talk about something. They just want to air their struggle. They just want to air their difficulty. They don't need advice necessarily. They just need someone to hear it. If they ask for advice, certainly give it, but be there. Be that ear that listens. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Ears and listening are that important. Be there with a compassionate listening and being a sounding board for others. And then as you're doing that, suspending judgment, practicing acceptance, letting people be who they are. We've all got different opinions. We've all got different political persuasions. We've all got different social persuasions and things that are important to us. Recognize that and be okay with that. Accept it. Accept the person as they are. Listen to them and be there as a supportive human being. Also, as you move forward and also as you connect, seek opportunities to connect with others and celebrate their important life occasions, birthdays, anniversaries. We've got graduation season coming up. We've got lots of things going on that people deserve recognition for, and people are craving that input, craving that connection. Particularly as we've begun to work, and some of us are continuing to work more remotely, look for opportunities to reach out and celebrate the little things that are happening, as well as the bigger things that are happening in the world of other people. Write thank you notes. I keep a stack of thank you notes on my desk. I try to make it a habit to reach out and say thank you to others for small things that they did, for help that they gave me, for advice that they gave me, for making something easier for me. It might be a text, it might be an email, it might be a handwritten note. Make it a point to say thank you every day to someone or multiple times a day. Don't let your day end without reaching out and saying, thank you, I appreciate your help, to someone in your life. And then smile and say hello to everybody. Be that person that loves humanity. Approach someone with a smile. When I'm out on my bike 3 or 4 days a week and passing runners or going around other bikes, I make it a point to say hello. Some people say hello back. Some people don't. Some people ignore the hello. It's not what we're looking for in return. It's offering that and putting that out there. We may not know the difference that slight smile or hello might make in someone else's life. And then as we go into the remainder of the year and travel restrictions have opened up and we're getting more comfortable getting on the plane and moving around, seek out peak experiences with your family. Those might be vacations. They may be with your family, with your friends, a long weekend, something special, a weekend at the beach, something that you do with your kids that you don't normally do, something that you can remember and talk about. Peak experiences and spending a little bit of money on those is something that creates memories that will last with you for a lifetime. Think about all of these as strategies and tactics for things that you can do to connect more meaningfully with others. We all want that. We're all looking for that. We're all hungry for that. Provide that food to others and allow others to provide that for you. Try these things, the ones that resonate with you, as you think about what you can do to truly connect with others in a meaningful way. We live in a VUCA world. That's not going to change. I invite you to listen in to these personal commitments and habits that you can make to thrive in this VUCA world that we're living in. I've offered 2. I offered a 3rd today. We've got 9 coming up. Join us as we talk about those 6 personal commitments and 6 habits that fuel those commitments so that you can truly thrive in these crazy, uncertain times that we live in. I'm Andy Robinson. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Hopefully something that I said resonated with you today. Check out the previous videos. Stay tuned for the next video in this series. I hope to see you next week. Have a great day and see you soon.